Hey everybody, super excited to be here at Steps of Faith office here in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm here with Billy Brimblecombe, who is the Executive Director of Steps of Faith. And we're just going to do a deep dive into what Steps of Faith is. It's a great organization that provides prosthetic devices for those who are uninsured and need to have one. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, step one, I'm a left leg above the knee amputee. I lost my leg to cancer in 2005, Ewing's sarcoma cancer. But fortunately, I lived to tell the tale. Fast forward many years, Steps of Faith started in 2013. There's a lot more to the story than that, but that's the gist. I was asked to talk to a patient one day that my prosthetist, who was just getting a new leg after losing his leg to cancer. He was like, "Would you talk to this guy? You're on the other side of this." I was several years out at that point. I was like, "I would love to talk to this guy. I feel like that's part of why this happened to me. I never get to have conversations like this." And it was just such a great conversation. I could just see the hope in his eyes and everything. And I left there saying, I wish that could be my job. I was a professional musician at the time. We had a brand new baby. I was kind of looking for a new job so that I could be home more, because as a musician, I was on the road touring all the time. And had an appointment again the next day, told my prosthetist that. And then he introduced me to Rob. Yeah. And then Rob's like, "Well, I've been trying to get this thing off the ground for a while here, and maybe you could come on board and be the executive director and run the deal and see what happens." My childhood friend Jason Sudeikis and I put together this big fundraiser in 2017.
Which would be
TG, Thunder Gong. This is a backdrop from the very first one we did, which is a big rock and roll comedy show, variety show.
So this is the big, it's your biggest event that you do by far.
By far. In like spring of '06, it was time for the permanent type of prosthesis, which is I wear a C-leg made by Ottobock. And so at the time, my insurance would only pay for half of it. Yeah. So anybody in prosthetic world knows they're all expensive. We had to raise 30 grand because that was the part that I was going to owe. And so Jason and some friends from Comedy Sports from way back had put together this fundraiser here in Kansas City to help raise money. My band played and some other bands played.
Oh, so cool.
So it really kind of goes back to that, you know.
So it originated with just this to raise funds for you.
For me. I was like, what if we could do this next year for somebody else that needed it, you know? So when I got the job, I had said to Jason, like, "Hey man," I was telling him about this new job, and I was like, if we raise 30 grand with Steps of Faith, we could help like more than 30 people, you know? Mm-hmm. So we should do an event. And that was in 2013. We talked about it off and on that whole year of 2017. Mm-hmm. And then finally we hit go.
So cool.
And that changed the whole trajectory for us.
You know, Billy and I, how we initially met and became friends, we're both musicians, we were in bands together, and we've always been good at collaborating together. You know, I have a degree in geology, I went to art school, I was I'm still a professional musician, but you know, not a lot of knowledge in the prosthetics world. It's kind of funny now, it's like, I know you learn all the lingo really quickly. I always say my main day-to-day job is I'm in charge of ordering all the parts for the people we help. We want to get the parts that are going to be the best for the person to get back to work, and you know.
Our program is very specific. We help uninsured amputees who don't have any prosthetic coverage. So some states, their Medicaid doesn't cover prosthetics, even though they are technically insured. So basically, when we receive an application from someone who needs assistance with a prosthetic limb, I am the first person that they come in contact with. So I receive the application and process that and connect them with a clinic if they don't already have a prosthetist. Last year we helped 234 clients get limbs, which was a record for us. And our goal this year is 250, and we've already helped 77.
So here is the Steps of Faith foundation.org, right?
That's our website.
Okay.
And so you just click on the apply tab across the top, and there are a list of questions that help you determine whether or not you would be eligible for our program. So if you answer those questions, you just keep scrolling if the answers are yes. And then at the very bottom, we have a PDF version that you can click and download. And our application is 11 pages, which sounds like a lot, but we just ask people to fill it out as best as they can. Not every question applies to every client. And they just complete that, and then they can either print it out or download a digital copy. And on the very last page, it will give instructions on how to send that back to us so we can start the process.
Thank you for coming along and learning about Steps of Faith. As you can see, this is an amazing organization that helps many uninsured amputees get the devices they need. Please go to their website to become a supporter, to subscribe to their newsletter, or to apply for assistance. Thanks, everyone. See you next time on the next episode of The Dish with Denise.